In this movie I want to show you my journeys on the vessels Carlos Fischer and Premium do Brasil in the years 2003-2004. These ships were built 2002-2003 in Norway. They are reefer ships for orange juice concentrate and fresh orange juice. Owner and operator is the Brazilian concern Fischer Group. The building costs was over 100 million US dollar each ship. The crew consists of Germans, Peruvian, Spanish and Chilean and is 17 men. Here are some technical details. The ship is measured with 33,005 gross registered tonnage. The length is 204 meter, breadth is 32.2 meter, the maximum draw 11.4 meter. The ship has 16 stainless steel tanks with a volume of 1,820 cubic meter. On deck could be carried additional 243 40 feet containers or 569 20 feet containers. The main propulsion power is 28,350 kilowatt, that's 38,550 horsepower. The maximum speed is 23 knots, that's 42 kilometer. The maximum fuel consumption is 110 metric tons per day. The heavy fuel oil bunker capacity is 4,680 cubic meter. The ballast water capacity is 20,200 cubic meter. The duration of each contract was 6.5 months. Santos is the main port of loading. The city has 400,000 citizens and can be named as seaport town of Sao Paulo. Here is a huge tank farm with a capacity of approximately 130,000 cubic meter. The juice is transported by tank trucks from the factories, which are located about 400 kilometer countryside from Santos. An orange tree can be harvested up to 4 times per year and becomes circa 15 years old.
Llegó el momento ya de separarnos. En silencio el corazón dice y suspira. Vaya con Dios mi vida. Con Dios, mi amor. Las campanas de la iglesia suenan tristes y parece que al sonar también te dicen: vaya con Dios mi vida, vaya con Dios mi amor. A donde vayas tú, yo iré contigo. En sueños junto a ti yo viviré.
The engine room temperature in Brazil can reach 48 degrees at a humidity of 95%. Here some jobs on the main engine during the harbor time, like the welding from cracks at the fuel leakage box. The condition of the stuffing box, which seals the space from the piston underside and the crankcase, gets inspected. Also the scavenge air valves, which are responsible for the correct charge air oscillation, that means that enough fresh air for the combustion is pressed into the cylinder, was checked there. The charger pressure is approximately 1.8 bar at full power and is produced by turbochargers and the piston undersides during partial load with support of two blowers. The control of the piston rings, even the under piston space and the liner, will be shown the condition of liner oiling and fuel injection. Every 15 till 20,000 running hours or under unnormal conditions, the piston must be replaced. The rings will be removed. The liner and the piston are measured. Also the stuffing box elements are measured, and if out of tolerance, they has to be replaced. For this routine works, we have to calculate about 16 working hours for 4 engine workers. In this case, only the upper piston ring was renewed because of breaking out of some pieces of the chrome ceramic surface. The reason was a material failure from the manufacturer. The storekeeper at the thread cutting of the cylinder head, and additionally a motorman who is removing some carbon and sulfur deposits from the piston crown. The weight of the cylinder head is 7.5 metric tons. The weight of the piston is 3.9 metric tons. The complete weight from the main engine is approximately 1000 metric tons. Only the crankshaft has a total weight of 175 metric tons. Here we see the dismantling of one crankpin bearing according the regulation of the certification company Germanischer Lloyd. The dismounting was carried out with hydraulic checks and chain blocks.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. So long, auf Wiedersehen. Kapitän und Steuermann, 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 heuerten die Mannschaft an auf dem morschen Kahn. Tut der Abschied uns auch weh, uns auch weh, uns auch weh. Heute müssen wir in See, müssen wir in See. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. So long, auf Wiedersehen. Bei Orkan und Sturmgebraus, 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 müssen wir aufs Meer hinaus, müssen wir hinaus. Brecher stürzen übers Deck, übers Deck, übers Deck, fegten schon den Moses weg und den Kapitän. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. So long, auf Wiedersehen. Und es läuft das alte Schiff, alte Schiff, alte Schiff, krachend auf ein Felsenriff, und es bricht der Mast. Auf die letzte Reise dann, Reise dann, Reise dann, holt uns der Klabautermann, der Klabautermann. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. So long, auf Wiedersehen. Good night, ladies. Wiedersehen. Die Stürme, die brausenden Wogen der eiskalten Winde, raues Gesicht. Wir sind schon der Meere so viele gezogen und dennoch sank unsere Fahne nicht. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, ho, hey, yo, hey, yo, ho, hey. Das Schiff zieht dahin unter sternklarem Himmel, weiß schimmern die Segel im Dunkel der Nacht. Ja, wir sind Piraten, die Adler der Meere, wir fürchten nicht Tod und des Teufels Macht. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, ho, hey, yo, hey, yo, ho, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, ho, hey, yo, hey, yo, ho, hey, yo. Gallonen beladen mit Gold und mit Silber, wir brachten sie auf im karibischen Meer. Wir schlugen uns tapfer und kämpften wie Löwen, für viele da gab's keine Wiederkehr. Hey, yo, 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 hey, yo. Hey yo, 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 hey yo.
Faz barrindo nosso animal. As barrincas de terras caídas, faz barrindo nosso animal. Amazonas, Rio da minha vida, irmão de tão linda que meu Deus criou. Peço o céu, a mata e a terra, une os caboclos, construiu o amor. Peço o céu, a mata e a terra, une os caboclos, construiu o amor. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. É mesa dessa que me mueve balança e o pavor de fora vim para brincar. É mesa dessa que me mueve balança e o pavor de fora vim para brincar. barrancas y tejas caídas, vas parindo nosso animal. As barrancas e terras caídas, vas parindo nosso animal. Amazonas pior da minha vida, irmão de tão lindo que meu Deus criou. Peço o céu, a mata e a terra, uni os caboclos, construiu o amor. Peço o céu, a mata e a terra, uni os caboclos, construiu o amor. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. E essa dança que me mueve balança e o pavão de fora vim para brincar. E essa dança que me mueve balança e o pavão de fora vim para brincar. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. E essa dança que me mueve balança e o pavão de fora vim para brincar. E essa dança que me mueve balança e o pavão de fora vim para brincar. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. Bate forte o tambor, eu quero tique 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 tá. E essa dança que me mueve balança e o pavão de fora.
¿Qué me importa el calvario si amarte es sufrir o que juegues con cartas marcadas? Lo que importa es las noches pasadas en ti, aunque a cambio me rompas el alma. ¿Qué me importa la vida? ¿De qué sirve vivir si me falta tu cuerpo caliente? Lo que importa es tocarte y apagar esta sed que tan solo me apaga tu fuente. Que sin ti nada tiene valor, oh no, y por eso soy tuyo, esclavo y señor. Cosas del amor, cosas de la vida. Tú eres mi águila real y yo soy tu gacela herida. Cosas de tu carne, cosas de tu piel, que me arrastran por las olas como barco de papel. Cosas del amor, cosas de la vida. Tú me haces el dolor y me curas las heridas. Cosas de tu cuerpo, cosas de mi voz, predicando en el desierto de tu absurdo corazón. ¿Para qué quiero?
On board we have a really well-equipped galley. The cook prepares some shrimps and is seen at a barbecue. The cook is an important man and he prepares the meals according the orders of the captain. The provision is stored in provision rooms and cooler and is refilled in nearly each port.
¿Qué me importa esperarte una y mil veces más si al final tú me inundas el tiempo? Lo que importa es mirarte en silencio y saber que tal vez sin tenerte te tengo. Que sin ti nada tiene valor, oh no, y por eso soy tuyo, esclavo y señor. Cosas del amor, cosas de la vida. Tú eres mi águila real y yo soy tu gacela herida. Cosas de tu carne, cosas de tu piel, que me arrastran por las olas como barco de papel. Cosas del amor.
The cleaning and painting of the accommodation is one of the jobs from the sailors. Here is the rule: safety first. At first the sea salt, rust and damaged paint is removed. Later new paint is built up with 3 layers. A job like the painting of the funnel in vertiginous high. The change of bearings at the electric motor of the cargo cooling compressor is done by the electrician and 1 motorman. The indication of the main engine belongs to the routine jobs at sea trial. It shows the condition of injection of the engine. Here is shown the most important parameters like compression, pressure, injection circle, begin of injection, maximum combustion pressure, exhaust gas temperatures and the power of each cylinder. Here also can be calculated the specific fuel and cylinder oil consumption and if it is necessary to carry out some adjustments. Very important to comply with earlier measurements trials to recognize abnormalities. Repairing of a damaged gear of the sludge pump. After breakdown of the air condition compressor and the dismantling of the cylinder cover, we found 1 damaged exhaust valve and some worn springs. After repairing with new spare parts, we were able to cool down our accommodation spaces into normal temperatures. At rough sea on the road at Seebrugge, the vessel is only able to take the pilot via helicopter or the ship has to drop the anchor and waiting for better weather conditions. The pilot is coming on board at around 12 knots vessel's speed and especially for huge container ships it saves a lot of time. The additional costs for the pilot and the helicopter are about 3,000 euro. Seebrugge and Ghent are the ports in Northern Europe. The port scenery appears with plenty ferries, ro-ro vessels and car carriers. Here we have 1 cool store and factory for producing filled Tetra Paks with a capacity of circa 30,000 cubic meter. From the berth in Seebrugge you can see 2 sections of the sunken car carrier Tricolore after a collision. This vessel was taken apart from the most famous salvage company Smith Tact, which was also the company lifting up the sunken nuclear submarine Kursk. The Tricolore was cutting into 9 sections with special diamond coated wire ropes and lifted with huge floating cranes and pontoons out of the busy waterway and brought these sections to Seebrugge to break up. The cost of the whole operation were 70 million euros.
An Bord muss ich gehen, es zieht mich hinaus aufs Meer. Nun wein nicht, mein Mädchen, fällt auch der Abschied schwer. Und draußen am fernen Ufer, da sah ich sie. Sie winkte zum Abschied, Seemann, vergiss mich nie.
The Pico de Teide is with 3,716 meters the highest mountain in Spain.
Nie wieder fliegt eine Weile.
The islands of Capo Verde are located in front of the African west coast, close to Senegal. 1455, the islands are occupied by the Portuguese. The major economic foundation was the slavery, which was provided 1876. They got their independence from Portugal 1975. Now we are passing the island Fogo with the same named volcano, which has a height of 2,829 meters.
Das Schiff liegt im Hafen und eine Brise weht. Und hoch in den Masten der blaue Peter steht.
Fernando de Noronha at Brazilian northeast coast, circa 340 km from Cap São Roque, former jail island for political prisoners, today military base and bird nature reserve. The bridge is the head of the ship. Here we have everything for safe navigation: radar, GPS, electronic sea cards, compass, engine telegraph, operating controls for the boat thruster, satellite telephone, fax, radio, fire detection system, weather chart recorder and several computers. During sea trail it is manned with one nautical officer and a sailor. On the electronic sea chart we can see nicely the speed and the position of the ship.
Heute geht es in See und den Mastkorb da kreisen die Möwen, da singt der Wind sein Lied.
The cargo control room is nearly only controlled by the nautical officers during loading and discharging operations. From here happens the opening and closing from valves of the cargo and ballast system, just as starting and stopping of the cargo pumps. Likewise, the control of the nitrogen pressure, which is a gas protection against oxidation of the orange juice. That means without this gas the juice would ferment, is supervised from here. The adjustments and control of the cargo hold temperatures can be done at the computers too. You can also see well the load graph of the ship's hull. Here can be reached by ballasting and free a ship, that means the filling and emptying, or by transferring from heavy fuel oil a permissible load of carrying capacity. The most important parameters therefore are the tank level of each tank, are delivered by a tank radar sounding system every 20 seconds and brought into the calculation. Responsible for this operation is the first nautical officer. The chief engineer is responsible for the cargo cooling plant. The switch over from compressor, filling of freezing agent and cooling oil belongs to his duties. The engine control room. Here we have the computers for start and stopping of pumps, generators, compressors, etc. Also the complete alarm monitoring plant, which has over 2000 sensors. The positioning of valves, which happens electric pneumatic, is mostly done by the computers. The heart is a main switchboard with its copper bars and heavy-duty switches at which nearly all consumers on board are connected. Here is also done the synchronization from the shaft generator and the diesel generators. The current demand during sea trial is approximately 1200 kilowatt. There is also an alarm and engineer's logbook printer, as well as a computer for diesel analyzer and an office computer. We can see the instruction and spare part books and office folders which are written in English language. On board we write the biographies of all aggregates for a correct maintenance planning into the computer. Responsible therefore is a second engineer.
Winde wehen, Schiffe gehen in ein fernes Land und des Matrosen allerliebster Schatz steht weinend dort am Strand und des Matrosen allerliebster Schatz steht weinend dort am Strand. Winde wehen, Wolken ziehen, alles was ihr blieb, das ist ein Brief aus einem fernen Land, sie hatte ihn so lieb. Das ist ein Brief aus einem fernen Land, sie hatte ihn so lieb.
Port of Manatee at Florida's Gulf Coast is one of our destination port in the United States of America. The orange juice is filled here into tank trucks. The lay time in this case was 10 days. 10,000 metric tons was discharged and 2,000 metric tons was loaded.
Träumt sie von ihrem Glück, doch immer wenn ein Schiff vorüberzieht, träumt sie von ihrem Glück. Winde wehen, Schiffe ziehen übers weite Meer. Ein Mädchen wartet einsam dort am Strand auf seine Wiederkehr. Ein Mädchen wartet einsam dort am Strand auf seine Wiederkehr.
We are now in one of 4 cargo holds with its huge cargo tanks, which are made of stainless steel. The height of the cargo tank is 12 meters and the tank capacity is 1820 cubic meters. The tanks on the juice side are fine polished, thereby no bacteriums can develop. Here we see the cargo pumps and the slanting fixed electrical motors of the agitators on the cargo tanks. Centrifugal pumps are used for pumping fresh orange juice. For pumping the viscosity concentrate, special rotary pumps. In the foodstuff industry are used very complicated armatures like alcohol-filled gaskets and mechanical seals to eliminate any possibility for bacterial contamination. Now we visit the engine room. The evaporator produces circa 28 cubic meter fresh water per day for the ship. The daily consumption for a freighter is approximately 8 cubic meters per day. He is functioning with 88 degrees Celsius hot cooling water from the main engine and ejectors, which produce a vacuum of 95% and brings the water to boil under this condition. The so produced fresh water is then transferred over a mineralization filter and an ultrasonic disinfection plant to the freshwater tanks. Hanging at the frame we have the transformer, and in the foreground the green painted hydraulic unit from the steering gear and the rudder stock. In the background the material store and the provision cooling compressors. The boiler plant makes wet steam with a pressure of 8 bar and produces steam with 174 degrees Celsius. It is used for preheating fuel storage tanks, day and settling tanks, preheaters for purifiers, fuel final preheaters, and so on. The spare parts and special tools, like here some crankshaft bearing, crank pin bearings, crosshead bearing shells, are dictated by the Germanischer Lloyd, a specification society. In the case of a burnt important electric motor or a missing important spare part, the ship has to wait for the repaired or new delivered parts till it can leave the port. Here we have some special tools and spare part lockers. At these vessels all spare parts are listed in the computer with locker and compartment number. In the sewage plant the wastewater is prepared in a 3-chamber treatment. Disinfected by chlorine, it is pumped finally overboard. The fuel oil unit with its screw worm pumps, fuel automatic filter, homogenizer, degasser, final preheater and the viscosimat. The heavy fuel oil becomes here to an injection viscosity of 12 centistoke, that's about 135 degrees Celsius. The pressure in the supply line is 12 bar and in the return line about 7 bar. Pressure peaks in the piping is absorbed with compressed air accumulators. The regulation of the injection viscosity be due to a viscosimat and the steam regulating valve at the final preheater. The lower platform with a propeller shaft, coupling and power take-off gear for the shaft generator. Here the revolution of 103 RPM is brought to 1800 RPM at the shaft generator to produce a current with 60 Hz frequency and up to 2000 kW or 3200 ampere. He is very economy because the diesel generators are out of service during sea trial and we save the maintenance for these aggregates. In the lower platform is also the entrance of the pipe tunnel located, the emergency ejector valve, the main sea water pumps, the hydraulic unit from the pitch propeller plant, the fuel transfer pumps, main lubrication pumps, and finally the workshop with a lathe machine, welding machine, grinding machine and many tools. The pipe tunnel is the lowest location of the ship and is only separated from the sea by the 5 till 8 mm thick shell planking in about 10-meter depth of water. Here we have ballast, steam and fuel piping, also electric cables, tank sensors and remote control pipes to the tanks in the foreship area. The yellow aggregate is the air dryer plant. It makes up the remote control air for all pneumatic control aggregates and armatures. The blue painted start air compressors produce the starting air for the main engine and the auxiliary diesels and compress the air in the huge white start air bottles up to 28 bar. In the midship house is a generator room with one of 3 auxiliary diesel with generator, each with a power of 1360 kW at 900 RPM. They make the energy in the port and at estuary trading. Also the emergency diesel for starting up of the whole plant after blackout is located here. The huge tank is for cleaning and disinfection of the cargo tanks and the cargo piping system. The briny room from where a water salt mixture is circulating with minus 17 degrees Celsius to the air coolers in the cargo holds. In the cargo compressor room we have the 3 ammonia reefer units which can deliver enough refrigeration capacity for all 4 holds. The bilge water separator separates the oil in the leakage water which is collected in the bilges and the bilge water tank. His regulation and all pumping out of water activities are written in the oil record book with local time and ship's position. Exceptional areas and limited distances to the coast must be followed. Like the bilge water separator, the incinerator is regulation and is checked by the authorities in the port. The engine emergency station has the emergency stop of all vents and fuel pumps. The CO2 release station and quick closing valves from the fuel and lubrication tanks are there too. Very important in case of fire in the engine room. The hospital with plenty pharmacy, surgical sets of instrument and bandages are stored here. In case of very bad accidents close to the coast, helicopters can evacuate the injured. At sea a run of emergency port must be done or another ship with doctor like navy, passenger or fish processing ship can be called for help. The nautical officers have a education during their study and a little bit exercise in a hospital. That's international standard. The safety equipment for abandon of the ship are life rafts and the free fall boat. Both are equipped with water, food and pyrotechnical light signals like rockets, hand flare and smoke signals. In case of sinking of the ship, a buoy is released and sends after emerge a signal with a specific ship code for identification and the ship position to satellites which ensure a worldwide supervision. Additional, we have a man overboard boat which is available for salvage of people in sea distress. Finally, some pictures from the dry dock to show the gigantic dimensions. Additionally, some aerial photo from reefer vessels of the same company with a ship of the first generation built 1970 with 8,000 tons loading capacity, followed by the second generation built 1993 with 16,000 tons and the newest generation with 33,000 tons.